Welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk, and this, my friends, is the Thunder Show, aka the internet's most passionate wine program, and there is a ton to talk about. One, big shout out to Christopher Mott. Congratulations, Giants steamrolled Seattle, and I gotta be honest with you, I think the Giants and the Falcons are the two best teams in the NFC, and Mott, this feels like the kind of year that the Giants can go out and get to a Super Bowl. I don't know. More importantly than that, my New York Jets, again, found miracle ways to win a game, did not play well most of the game. Sanchez came through late. Lots of issues with the Jets, undisciplined. That's going to make Mott feel happy because that's his whole thing with Rex and all that. But we won. It's better to win and continue to move on and hopefully catch fire. 6-2 isn't too shabby. Mangini, I'm worried about you. I've always stuck up for Mangini. Even last year when he was supposed to get fired, you know I love him. I'm worried, but I'm going to give my prediction on a Monday because I don't want to waver. 24-10 Jets. We match up well against the Browns. You know I was scared about the Lions. You saw it last week. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. The Browns run the ball. We stop the run. Colt McCoy is not going to beat this team. And I don't know what you think, but Darrelle Revis might be back. When you're keeping Megatron, Calvin Johnson, to one catch and 13 yards, when he's dominating the NFL, I'm starting to see a little Revis back. So, lots of football stuff.
Just got to get their running game going, too.
You know, Ma, it's devastating. They're a little bit too crazy about LT right now. Too many plays running through Damian Tomlinson. Sean Green is pounding the ball. They burn him out. Yeah, listen, there's plenty of things to be worried about, but, you know, you keep winning and you hope you click. Quirky, however you want to pronounce it, Quirky, Quirky is a site I'm very passionate about, and I've teamed up with them. Mott, link it up. As a matter of fact, Mott, I want you to get, I know you don't have a lot of time, actually, but that's okay. I want you to link it up because there's a video on Quirky's site. We are trying to change the wine world. I want all the creative maniacs, all the creative people. We're trying to create a wine accessory. It could be a glass, it could be a corkscrew. Check it out. There's a place where inventors go and make products. I've teamed up with Quirky. You've got to watch the video, click the page. Maniacs, come out, check this out. It's a chance for us to change the wine world. Okay, now, let's talk about Moscato di Asti. Moscato di Asti comes from the Moscato Bianco grape. Moscato di Asti is in the northern eastern part of Italy. It became a DOCG in 1994, and what's probably most important, and why it's on the show, and you can see the bubbles, is that Moscato has become, and this is the Ilio Peroni, this is one of the great Moscato di Asti, comes from a small 2-hectare vineyard, 60-year-old vines, 91 points Antonio Galloni, only 400 cases a year are made. It's a $15 wine, very traditional Christmas beverage in Piedmont, where Asti is from, and all these Moscatos come from. But here's what's happening between Roscoe Dash, Gucci Mane, and Drake. And if you don't know any of those people, they are hip-hop stars, current hip-hop stars. Moscato is being dropped in a ton of hip-hop songs. In general, hip-hop is coming to the wine world. And I'm here for you, hip-hop. And so I'm very fascinated by what's going on with this hip-hop reference of vino. Drake is a huge star, considers himself a wine connoisseur. I like that. And Moscato is getting enormous amounts of love in all the songs right now. So if you don't know and you want to be in the scene and know what's up, start popping some Moscato. And in general, take away hip-hop for a minute. The wine scene, if you're a wine drinker out there, Moscato di Asti needs to become more part of your kind of rotation. These wines are delicious. Mott, grab a glass. I'm telling you right now, you're about to freakazoid for them. They're really solid. So let's see what's going on here on the Snippy Sniff. You always have this fresh kind of like, mochi, lime kind of thing going on. A little apple. It smells great. I'm going to make you taste them all, so don't get too crazy, Mott.
Okay.
These are sweet wines. They're delicious. I'm kind of celebrating. Oh, by the way, this Sunday, my 35th birthday, November 14th. Oh, you love it, right? And for $15 for this bottle, Mott. And you've tasted a lot of those Hungarian Tokais that are like $60.
It's really kind of a little too sweet.
Is it too sweet for your palate?
Yeah, this one.
It's interesting to watch your palate develop. I like that. This Sunday, November 14th, I turn 35. I started this show when I was 30 years old. We've been on a long journey together, half a decade almost. We're only a couple months, 4 months away from a half a decade of Wine Library TV. I want to thank all of you. It means so much to me. And please send your presents to 586 Morris Avenue, Springfield, New Jersey, 07081. I prefer Jets jerseys. So this is a fun wine. I may even use some of these on Sunday when I'm celebrating Mangini. Do not ruin my birthday. I'm wearing a Browns colored shirt, a little bit of re-jinx. I'm wearing a brown colors. I'm trying to, do you see where I'm going here? I'm going reverse jinx on you, Mangini. Reverse jinx. Anyway, back to this. Can't even spit this stuff. It's light, always very low in alcohol. 6% alcohol on the second wine. The Spinetta is 5.5% alcohol. And this little guy right here rolls in at 5.5% alcohol. So the alcohol levels are extremely low. The flavors are extremely sweet and delicious. And the ladies love it. But more importantly, gentlemen, an amazing aperitif, a great thing to start your meal with. Maybe if you're getting some, prosciutto and melon, a little bit of this. Maybe a little like Maryland crab cake. This is great. Green salad with just a little bit of like, tomatoes, just simple stuff. It goes great. This is tremendous food wine. It's a lot of fun. The bubbles come out. The price points are attractive. Look at this little guy, Bug Juice from Rinaldi, an amazing producer actually. Great wines, $18, 2009 vintage. Rinaldi, Moscato di Asti. Let's give it a sniffy sniff. And this is a little bit deeper. Smell this, Mott. This smells a little bit drier. You can actually smell it. Give me your glass, Mott. Keep you in the mix here. It smells a little bit drier, a little less of that fruit that we saw in the last wine. A little more stone fruit, a little bit more crushed clamshell. Less dry. Excuse me, less sweet. A little more dry, don't you agree?
Yeah.
And what do you think about this?
This one's more like ginger ale, whereas the other one was more like cream soda.
Are you trying to take my job? Because I think it's a tremendous job by you. I think that, because it's a weight thing on the palate. Tremendous analogy, my Mott. And I agree with him. I'm going to score the first wine. I thought it was great. I'm going to score it 90. I'm going to score this wine 90 as well. Very different reasons. I like the fact this was a little less sweet. It's a little lighter. I like the viscosity there. But both wines I'm scoring 90 points. Think about this. Sparkling wines with sweetness, not Asti Spumante. This is a little bit more wine-oriented. Just delightful, fresh wines. I like this one because it's not as goopy as the last one. It's very clean and very fresh. And I like that it's a hair dry. If you can combine these two, I get really excited. It really start popping because then I'd be getting kind of the sensibility of this wine and a little bit more of the power and flavor of the first wine. Both are excellent. Both are exciting. And think about a category where we did an episode where we were talking about something new and the wines are scoring 90 across the board. I mean, that becomes a rare thing. Now, this is really pouring out of here. One of my favorite producers in the world, La Spinetta, makes some of the great Barbarescos in the world. This is the Bricco Coglia 2009, and the Coglia cuvee is only available in the fall. This wine rolls in at about 15 bones, and this is what this producer is most famous for, though every wine nerd and collector knows them for their Barbaresco. And this is extremely funky, a little bit different than the other two. Very fresh, very funky. Again, great bubbles. Isn't it interesting how all three wines smell completely different?
Yes.
Let's give it a whirl. This is an 89-point wine from Galoni. And again, this is not as sweet as the first one either.
No.
But has a little bit more weight than the last wine. And this is maybe a blend between ginger ale and cream soda.
I'll go with that.
Very heavy on the sugar cane and the apple juice. Apple for days, huh?
Apple.
I mean, crazy apple flavor. Just want to go back to this first one. Put this all into context. Here's the crazy part. All of these wines are difficult to score because they're delicious. I mean, they're very light. They're fun. I mean, these are like apple cider alcohol content. I just give this whole thing a big fat 90. 90 for everyone. 90 for everyone. 270 points. And the best part is 15, 13, I can see the number now, 13 and 18. I mean, these wines are well priced. There's no wonder why the Drakes and the Gucci Manes of the world are popping on these. They're happy. They're champagne-like. There's bubbles. It's festive. And if you want to talk about something that you want to serve this New Year's, because it's not too early to start thinking about this stuff. It's November 8th, right? Then I highly recommend looking at Moscato di Asti. You're going to hear about Prosecco. You're going to hear about, Cava. I'm going to be talking about them, but they're very much more champagne-like. This is kind of like champagne with a little bit of like a dessert twist. And I like that about these wines. They're light and the alcohol contents are so fun. I mean, you could be straight baller and be double-fisted and drink both bottles and be far from twisted because the alcohol contents are so under control. Interesting wines from a more serious standpoint. They pair extremely well with light foods. I once had a great Moscato di Asti, actually I think from Spinetta, with a quail dish. It was the pairing on this great tasting menu, and it was spectacular. I highly recommend you start looking at these kind of wines. And here's the funny part. I am willing to bet that most of you have never had a Moscato di Asti. Admit it. Admit you've never had one. Step up, have one. Love it. Question of the day. Here we go. We're getting into the fall. What kind of dessert bubbles, what do you like to drink with the foods that you have in the winter? Because we're going to be eating differently. We get into our kind of mode of like eating meat. What kind of wines that sparkle or are sweet do you like? What is your favorite sparkly and sweet wine? Or one and the same? I love these. 24-10. Who do you guys play this week? The Cowboys. I learned my lesson last time with a new head coach.
Yes, that's right.
In New York.
Yes.
Giants 27, Cowboys 11. Weird. You, with a little bit of me, try Moscato di Asti. We're changing the wine world, whether they like it or not.